Hello everybody, this is a video I've been meaning to make for quite a while now. Um, Pretty sure it's too late to be an official entry, but Falagar 517 Sammy uh, uh, was running a contest for reaching 300 subscribers, and if you're not subscribed to him already, I'll include a link to the original video that I'm responding to below. But he's a very enthusiastic film lover, collector, and you should check him out. But the contest really intrigued me. I just don't want to get into it here, but I've been dealing with some health and other issues and kept putting it off. I collected the material pretty quickly because the idea was intriguing, but I just haven't felt up to making the video. But I did want to post this even if the contest was over, just to respond to Sammy because he's such a great YouTuber. The contest, like I said, was in 3 parts. The first part was to suggest combinations of films that you believe are good to watch together. Mostly pairings, but he left it broad enough that you could make it 3 or 4. It was pretty open that way. I pretty much stuck to pairings, double features, and I'll try and run through these pretty quickly because I have several here. The first 2 films that I'd like to recommend watching together. The first one is American Movie, and if you haven't seen this film, even if you don't watch the other one, I'm going to recommend Mark Borchard, and that's why I have my glasses on to make sure I get his name right, is a filmmaker, very indie filmmaker, and this movie follows his exploits in trying to first make his feature, and then he decides that he has to finish his short film Coven, and it's just an extremely fascinating documentary of watching this young man and his companions struggle to make this film against a lot of difficulties, and some of them self-inflicted, that crop up during the production. And it's just a wonderful film. I mean, you could look at it that the filmmakers are exploiting him or making fun of him, but at least some have that I've seen review this. But I never felt that way. I find it a very inspiring film that, for all his difficulties, he just keeps plugging away. He has a vision, and the beautiful thing is, it's included in this set. You get to see the finished short film Coven, and it's actually very enjoyable. The film that I would pair with that is one of my favorite documentaries. It's called Cinemania. And if the first film is about the love of filmmaking, this film is about those who love watching films. I mean, it says real obsession, and that's what it is. It follows 5 New Yorkers who are just incredibly obsessed about films to the point of watching 5 a day in theaters. You have Jack up here on the top. He's also pictured below, but then you see Roberta, Eric, and Jack again, and Bill. You don't show them on the front, but there's also right next to my finger there is man, I want to say Ralph, but now I'm going to totally screw it up. Harvey. I don't know how I could forget Harvey because he's a very unique character. But just the movie follows these people around. They all are obsessed with cinema, but in very different ways, very different people, very different compulsions. The uniting factor is their love of cinema, and I just think this would be a great double feature. If you want to sit down and watch, I would watch the filmmaker first and the film fan second. My next suggestion is Crumb. Probably everybody's who's got any interest in documentaries or sequential art comics has seen this one already. just an amazing documentary following R. Crumb, Robert Crumb, his life, his family, directed by Terry Zwigoff, and I'm probably massacring his last name. But this is, I've lost count how many times I've watched this. I always knew that Crumb was odd, but then you meet his brothers, and it just blows you away. Now, some people might suggest pairing this with Zwigoff's narrative, non-documentary film Ghost World, which is based on a comic book graphic novel. And this is an excellent film, but it's not the film that I would pair with this. If I was looking for a film to pair with Crumb, it would be American Splendor, which is a very unique film that has Paul Giamatti in it, and it's a combination docudrama, documentary. It's on the life of Harvey Picard, who actually ties in with Crumb because they've worked together, a lot of similarities. I just think it makes a wonderful combination. And if I was looking for a film to pair with Ghost World as far as sensibilities, it might not strike people right away, but Napoleon Dynamite would probably be the film I would sit down and watch with this. I tried to find my copy, and either it's been lost, loaned out, or it's just on the shelves and I can't find it because of my current situation as far as shelving or lack thereof. Also in a humorous vein, these are two films that people may have actually avoided, at least one of them. And I combined them because, one, I've heard them ripped apart, and two, I find them hysterical, as stupid as they are. Uwe Boll is just despised as a director. I don't know about all his films, but Postal is just so over-the-top, idiotically stupid that it makes me laugh out loud. I mean, it just is wrong. In so many levels, it is wrong. And I think that's why I enjoy it. And I would combine that with another really goofy, unique comedy, Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, which splices an old martial arts film into current scenes using special effects and creates something that only a really unique mind could come up with. You're one of a kind. Two other films that, one I'm thinking people have seen, and other will turn people off maybe just by the name of the star. The first one is My Name is Bruce, with Bruce Campbell, where he is basically playing a parody of himself. And I found this a very funny film. I had hoped for sequels. And then I think it's about that time he went to get cast for Burn Notice, and so nothing came of the sequels. But he's just over the top, goofy, and he's not making himself look like a hero or putting himself in the best light in this film. A related topic, and this is a person, I've never seen one of his films or made it through one of his films, actually, I don't think. His brand of humor was never mine type of thing, but in this film, Pauly Shore is dead. He plays himself, basically, and I don't want to spoil the premise too much, but I actually found him tolerable. He wasn't doing the weasel guy, and there's actually a few touching moments. But these two films, I think, are perfect together because they are performers making fun of themselves. Both films I found very amusing and enjoyed, and I think they are great together. Next, seems pretty obvious, but I thought I'd mention it. Nosferatu, the German silent expressionist horror film, the first filming of Dracula. It's just one of my favorite all-time films. It's just a classic. It's not just one of my favorite horror films, it's one of my favorite films. So I was just thrilled, speechless, blown away when they made title in there. No, not, there we go. Shadow of the Vampire, which is imagining of the filming of Nosferatu, with Willem Dafoe playing Count Orlok, or the actor portraying Count Orlok, and John Malkovich is the director of the film. And it's dark, it's funny. I wish there were more films like this. That it's just an homage, just a love letter to filmmaking. And these two together, I would watch Nosferatu first, and then the follow-up. The next one, this is a film. It's just on more than a fire hydrant, but I really enjoyed this film. And that's Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. This film had just come out as Season of the Witch. I have two versions of it. I think it would be a standard Halloween film that everybody would watch. It's just because they put Halloween 3 on there that people just cringe and throw tantrums and have the most bizarre reactions to, because of course Michael Myers does not appear in this film, but it just captures that Halloween feel, that annoying jingle in the commercial sticks in your head long after you've watched the movie, and it's actually a well cast, very enjoyable, probably implausible, goofy, but fun Halloween film that really captures the spirit. And the other film for me that really just captures Halloween is the more recent Trick or Treat anthology. I have this in two versions too, one in Blu-ray that I haven't opened yet, and my first DVD. I think you could do a lot worse than watching these two films. And if you just get out of your head Halloween and just think of it as Season of the Witch, and watch it with Trick or Treat, I think, to me, these are two standard Halloween night films that I watch now, or at least my Halloween October marathon. But I try to fit them in on Halloween itself if I can, and I really enjoy these. Next to last is Rio Bravo, which is just one of my all-time favorite westerns. And Dean Martin, I love the Duke, don't get me wrong, but Dean Martin is highly underrated as actor, and I think this is a great performance as the alcoholic sheriff. Ricky Nelson gives a good performance as a young gunslinger. It's just well cast. There's a pseudo remake, El Dorado, where James Caan is in it, and that's also a very good film. Robert Mitchum, and I could have paired that with this, but the thing I'm going to pair with it is Assault on Precinct 13, which, for those who don't know, might not seem like a logical pairing, but John Carpenter has credited this film with inspiring this film, which is basically these men are trapped in the sheriff's office with a prisoner. These people are trapped in the sheriff's department, police office, precinct that's been closed down, and are cut off from help also. There is a remake, which I actually enjoyed. I didn't think I would, but the remake of Assault on Precinct 13 is a fun updating, but it's nowhere near the gritty, just gripping Carpenter version. So if I was going to watch two films together, I would go with the Carpenter version, which could equally do El Dorado and the remake, I think. Lastly, these two films are basically, I won't swear, mind warps. I was thinking of a different mind thing, but they just leave you really thinking at the end of the films, rethinking everything that happened in the movie and putting them together. One is Nolan's Memento, which if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil any of it for you, but is something that you will never forget. It's just, I have to hold it sideways because I have this special version where it's slip-out case and it's designed like a file case, and it's never opened easily. And another mind warp film where the ending, again, just brings everything together and leaves you going, what? And making you wanting to immediately rewatch the film is The Usual Suspects, which is just a stunning film. Casting, writing, directing, just, I don't know how many times I've watched this one either. This one is very difficult for me to watch repeatedly. It's a very dark film. This is dark, but it's also witty and amusing, and the characters are more appealing. But together, I think you would have a wonderful evening of film watching, and I think I would start with Memento just because I don't think I'd sleep if I ended on that one. The second part of Sammy's contest was to list any movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever, that someone else had recommended that inspired you to get them. I could only think of two, and they were both by, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, but I'm pretty sure that 42nd Street Forever, who I haven't seen posting stuff lately, recommended both of these. The first one's a documentary called Video Nasties, and I got the definitive guide. I ordered this from Amazon UK, and it's the collector's edition of the film, and it came with 3 discs, and it had these cards included, and basically it's a film about movies that were banned in the UK. The disappointing thing was that when it came, the case was smashed to bits. Now, I contacted Amazon UK, but I had the very last copy that they had. So my choice was return it and get the standard copy, or keep my smashed up copy and hope to eventually someday come across a case that I could replace this with. And so that's what I did. It's just a very interesting film about censorship, government control, horror films, amazing artwork on the covers of the stuff. Just a truly enjoyable documentary that I've only had a chance to watch once so far, but I've enjoyed it very much. The second film that he recommended is called, well, at least on this version, Massacre Mafia Style. And the reason I ordered it, he highly praised it, and if you ordered right away, you got a bonus disc. And it was originally called The Enforcer. And what intrigued me about this, though I've not yet watched it, which is sad to say the story of my life, I own many more films than I ever have watched out of my collection. But what intrigued me about this is the film was directed by Duke Mitchell. And if that name sounds vaguely familiar to you, Duke Mitchell made a film earlier in his career with his then partner, Sammy Petrello. And that film is Bela Lugosi meets the Brooklyn Gorilla. They were a Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis imitation team. Duke Mitchell being the obviously the Dean Martin character of the group, and as trash as this film gets, I actually find it amusing. In this film, Mr. Mitchell directed it. He had something to do with the writing of the script, and he appears in it. If I remember right, he appears in it under his real name, which was Dominic Michelli, but he directs it under Duke Mitchell. And it's a 70s mafia movie, apparently very violent, but very interesting and very good, and I just have to get around to watching it, and I have not done so. So those two films, I suppose this would be a very interesting combination double feature watch, but that wasn't the point. These two films are the only films that I actually went out and bought because somebody recommended them, these specific editions. The final part of Sammy's contest was you could take either a 20-sider or a 6-sider. You could roll the 20-sider once, and you had to get a natural 20. Or you could roll the 6-sider as many times it took to get 20, but you couldn't be short of or above 20. You had to land on 20, and you got extra draws in the contest. I figure you have to be insane to do that, but I've held off on watching all the video responses to Sammy's contest until I made this video. So I'm very anxious now that I've finally filmed this or videotaped this to be able to watch the response videos and see what films other people have, what videos, movies, TV shows other people have combined as double features, to see what things they've bought and who recommended them to them. And truthfully, I'm very interested to see if anybody went for the dice gimmick. But Sammy, again, I'm sorry it took so long to get this to you, but congratulations again on 300 subscribers. I'm behind on watching not just yours, but everybody's videos, what with the way my life's been lately, but I'm working my way to getting caught up, and I look forward to eventually watching all the videos you posted when I was away. Good luck on the next 300, and I hope you find a new job soon. You're in my prayers. Take care, stay safe, be well, God bless.